Howdy gamers, in this video we'll be doing the usual upgrades and tuning on the car pictured in the thumbnail, that being this old Holden Commodore. We're going to start things off by throwing in some twin turbos, just to be sure we'll hit the power number we're looking for. Next we're going to vibe on over to the tire width. I'm going to give it some 225s in the front and some 245s in the rear. The rims are all up to you guys, but just know that the weight might not be exactly the same as my build. I'm going to space it out by 3 in the front and 2 in the back. As usual, we will max out the drivetrain, and for platform and handling we maxed out the brakes and both roll bars, kept the coils at drift springs, and put on sport chassis reinforcement. Now for the engine, I put on a race intake, race fuel system, race ignition, stock exhaust, race cams, sport valves, race engine block, race pistons, sport twin turbos, a race intercooler, race oil and cooling, and of course a race flywheel. I did so to try and increase the weight of the vehicle while hitting a power number of about 500 horsepower to try and keep the vehicle stable mid-drift, because for some reason this game really favors heavy cars to be more stable in drift. After that, go ahead and exit, and if you're building along with me, this is a good time to throw on a base tune. Alright, on to testing and tuning. I got a little sidetracked there, so I did do one run already. Had to go do something real quick, but this thing doesn't feel too bad. We kind of just took out the whole fence right there, but I mean, I haven't played this game for a month, so I'm not doing too bad. Like I said, I did one run just before this, and it's pretty good, as you can see. I just hope I can get it to steady out a little more. Of course, I haven't done any actual tuning, just threw on a base tune, came out and ripped it. And it's feeling pretty decent so far. Gonna try and tune out all the little jitters it has, of course, make it a little bit smoother. But I'm also not on my A game right now. Could be a contributing factor. Alright, one thing I noticed from my runs is I think this stuff will have to go up a little bit more. That'll help just keep it locked at angle, make sure the wheel speed is nice and high. I have to do a couple more runs to dial in the gearing. I think we're gonna make it a little bit more of a soften up the rear bump stiffness a little bit. Yeah, I basically just been out of commission for a little while, and that would be because of my last stream. I started explaining a little bit that my left bumper seemed to be giving out here and there. And of course, your left bumper is your clutch, and for drifting, that's a pretty important button. So it started to annoy me a little bit. Soon enough, it started to completely die out, and then it was just, I was unable to drive, of course, not being able to use my clutch. Kind of put me out for a little while, but I had at least one video ready to be edited and uploaded, which I tried just the other day, except the file was so large, it just didn't want to work in Premiere. Gonna give it another go, because I think this thing is feeling pretty good. I have to figure out some problems with it, see what we can do. But that video I had recorded was Fallout 76. I actually purchased that a little while ago. There was some free play days, so I got that, me and my brother, and we tried it out for a little while. Ended up enjoying it. Now own the game. We're gonna lose it right there just a little bit. I'm gonna have to hardly pull through, make a little shortcut through the dirt. I'm trying to up the tire pressure in the front just slightly to see if that stables it out. Make sure it doesn't let go at high angle. I think we're going to try 1.3 degrees of toe in the front. We're going to give it a go just like that, just some minor changes. Just because it was giving away at higher angles, you know, you never want that. It's angle drift build, tandem drift build, you can't be doing that. It's a little too much sauce. We'll give it another go. I'm going to move front camber up a little bit, give it some stiffer roll bars. But back to Fallout 76, that game is actually a lot better than I expected it to be. Just considering all the hate it got on release and all, but then with the, whatever that update was, there was a recent one. Wastelanders? It's Wastelanders, I forgot the name for a second, but Wastelanders is pretty dang good actually. Dude, this thing wants to hug the inside now. What I changed wasn't really much to make it do that, but maybe it was just my line coming in. Surprisingly, seems like I got the gearing pretty spot on just by throwing in a base tune. And I like how it's handling right now. Kind of have to shallow up a little bit right there to make sure it holds outside. I almost spun right there as well. Dear God. It's what not playing for a month gets you. Well, this is just a screwed run, dear God. That was very twitchy, but we got through it. I had an increased third gear just a little bit. I'll do the same to fourth just to keep it kind of close. Trying to keep it close to that red line. Back to sending it. Ooh, that was not the greatest entry, but we made it work. There we go. I think I did need that. Slightly shorter gears. I didn't keep it wide there, but... Oh yeah, it likes that. On that transition, full throttle, it just pulls through that. Trying to stay... Oh, trying to get used to my ways on controller. It's so weird. Trying to like almost roll my sticks, but not. Go side to side, but try and be as smooth as possible. This Commodore was sure holding up well at that last section. So we're gonna go ahead and send it here for a little bit. Kind of drop tires off that end right there. This section's pretty good for the reverse entry right here, which I completely massacred. Alright, attempt number 2, see how this one goes. Definitely a cleaner line there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to squeeze through this one. Still doing it with traffic on. Didn't want to bother turning off the traffic. And it makes it a little bit more challenging. So why the heck not? This line is so hard to hold on that outside. You have to shallow up a lot half the time just to be able to hold it. Yeah, this thing feels real good. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and send it one last time because this thing's actually feeling a lot better than I expected it to. Wasn't sure how Holden would come out because I have not worked with these before. Man, I just can't get my line right on this roundabout today. Yeah, this thing's feeling pretty good on both sections now. I think it's a good call to finish build. Alright, so if you are building this car along with me, here are my numbers for the tune. But if you're just interested in the share code, I'll show that just after this. Alright, and for the rest of y'all, the tune is now up as Drifty Boy, and the share code is right here. Alright, well I'm afraid that sums things up. I would love to thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoy the tune, and I'll see you guys next time.